Coach Alex Dodd from the Clemson Insider. How exciting is it to be gearing up for the postseason and getting on a bus here in a few minutes?
Oh yeah, Alex, we're super excited. We had a good couple of days of practice after the ACC championship, and looking forward to going down to Tuscaloosa and playing in our first ever regional. So excited for our players and our staff, and just looking forward to a great weekend.
Coach, I guess the elephant in the room is number 10 ranked team, ACC champion, not getting a top 16 regional host site. And not only that, but having to go play 3 teams from the state of Alabama in Tuscaloosa, including number 3 team. Are there some people on the committee that have an ancient vendetta against you, or?
No, I think the committee has a tough job. They seed the top 16, and then they kind of fill it out from there. And certainly we made our case all year long by going 42-6 and winning the regular season conference championship. And then, of course, playing in the championship game of the tournament and losing by a run. And just very proud of our effort. And I think, is what I told our team is, you can control what you control. And we've done that all year long. When the committee gets in that room and they make selections, that's out of our control. And certainly we can sit around and feel sorry for ourselves for not getting a bid and not maybe being seated where we felt we were supposed to be, but that's not going to get us anywhere. So we've got to prepare for a tough Troy team and hopefully give ourselves a chance this weekend to compete for another championship. So at the end of the day, you're going to have to play good teams to get to where you want to go. And I think our team's ready for that. And we've moved past the selection show and just getting ready for a great weekend of competition.
Coach, saying all the right things, but I can imagine that your girls were still pretty angry over not hosting regional site. Can you use that anger as fuel going into as an underdog on the road?
Oh, definitely. I think we're going to play with a chip on our shoulder, no question. And it would have been great to play in this beautiful facility with our great fans. And but like I said, it's out of our control now. They made the selection, so we go down there with the chip on our shoulders and play to the best of our abilities, and let's see what happens.
Does the mindset change at all now that it is kind of lose or go home, essentially getting through this regional versus, the long grind of the season?
Yeah, I think anytime, you get into postseason and the, your season's on the line, it definitely changes a little bit, but it doesn't change our mindset and our preparation. We're still playing it one game at a time and you play until you lose. And in this type of tournament, it's double elimination. So you have a chance to fight back out of the loser's bracket if that happens. But, I feel like our team, although we're very young and inexperienced in postseason, we're ready for the challenges this weekend.
Is that almost an advantage because they don't really have that experience to lose, to just kind of be naive and enjoy it in a way?
Yeah. I think we've said all along, we're like playing with house money right now. Nobody expected us to be here, and I think even the coaching staff really at the beginning of the year, if you said, hey, would you take being in the regionals of Alabama today? Would you take it? And we say, heck yeah, so, but yeah, we're going to play relaxed and have fun and go out there and play ball. And I think, our team has embraced the success that we've had this year, and we're ready for the challenge of postseason.
What have you learned about your opponents in the regional so far, just from scouting this week?
Well, we know that Troy's a very good team. They're very capable. They played Alabama to a 2-0 game this year. Alabama had 2 hits off of them and scored 2 runs. So very close game. We played Troy last year in a tournament. And so we know a little bit about them. They have a pitcher that's very good, rise ball, curveball pitcher that throws with low velocity. And, their record shows that they've competed well all year long. And that's our biggest challenge right now is Troy. We can't look past them. We got to be ready to play and bring our A game.
Coach, you mentioned double elimination as opposed to single elimination in the ACC tournament. You go 3-0 in Tuscaloosa, you're home free. Does that change your pitching strategy at all as far as Valerie? Do you still maybe go ride her for 3 straight days, or do you think about maybe using Millie?
That's a great question. And I think every game, that we play presents different situations, different offensive lineups. And certainly Valerie is, obviously our ace, and we both feel very comfortable with her in the circle and facing, a team in conference 3 times in a row is a little bit different than playing different opponents 3 days in a row. So, last weekend of the ACC tournament, we played Georgia Tech, Virginia Tech, and Duke. So it wasn't like Valerie was facing the same opponent. So that starting her in those 3 games made a lot of sense. This weekend we'll look at the situation as it arises and make a decision. But we feel very confident, Millie Thompson and Reagan Spencer, and we've utilized the pitching staff all year. So if we need to do that, we'll certainly do it.
We saw Coach Sweeney was here yesterday talking to your team. What was that experience like, and how that all kind of come together?
Anytime you have Coach Sweeney talk, it's he makes you stop and listen, and he presented some great points to our team, and he definitely went into preacher mode a little bit, and we felt the gamut of emotions when he was talking. 1 minute he wanted to knock down the wall in front of you, and the next minute you were really deep in thought about your preparation, and got a little emotional at times, and so to have him and his expertise and his knowledge and experience be able to talk to our coaches and players was, I think, very beneficial.
Go ahead and open it up to questions on the iPad.
John, this is Matt with ClemsonSports.com. Just what was your initial reaction when you saw the bracket, and I guess what explanation did you get, or what are your thoughts on where you guys were seated?
Yeah, Matt, I think, the room, everybody, I think in our room thought that we might be a 1 seed, or a seeded team 1 through 16 and host. And I think some of us thought that maybe we'd be a high 2 seed. And so I don't think a lot of people were expecting our name to pop up that quick on the selection show. But having been through this a number of times, I was paying close attention, and certainly, was a little bit shocked. But at the same time, you run the gamut of emotions. You start thinking about, okay, now we got to prepare for the teams at this regional. But also the disappointment of not hosting and not being maybe a top 16 seed, and the challenges that lie ahead. But anytime you make the NCAA tournament, like I said earlier, you're going to have to beat good teams to get to where you want to go. And certainly, this first weekend we got to beat some good teams to get to the next round. So we were, I think as the show went on, I think we all reality kind of set in, and we looked at this weekend as just being a challenge, and let's start preparing for it.
Hey, Coach, it's Zach Wagner with TigerNet. What's the atmosphere and the emotions been like around the facility and practice the last few days as you prep for the tournament?
Yeah, I think we've had a lot of fun, and that's a part of our success, is that we come out and prepare, and we're very businesslike, but we have fun doing it. We're a loose group, and we've had really good practices. In fact, today was one of our best practices of the year. We've been practicing in the morning, so it's just been a little different in that regard. But the biggest thing we've tried to do is keep things the same. We are who we are, and we got here for a reason, and a lot of it's the way we prepare and practice, and the way we have fun every day, and we certainly haven't changed that, and don't plan to change it.
John, can you share any more about what Dabo's message was? You got like the specific message and kind of what any details on what he shared with you guys?
Yeah, I mean, Dabo shared a lot. I mean, I asked him to come over and spend a few minutes and kind of maybe give us some of his wisdom, and that few minutes turned into about 45 minutes. And it was awesome. I mean, he hit some great points about, looking at the windshield, not the rear view mirror, and trusting our preparation, and using different things as motivation, and really, and we've said this to our team all along, and he emphasized it, is, hey, our toughest opponent is ourselves, so we have to be, our mind has to be right. We have to be, physically, mentally, emotionally ready to play and be up for the challenges. But the biggest thing is do what we do, don't change a lot, and, trust that our preparation is going to help us succeed, whoever we play, wherever we play, whenever we play.
Coach, this is Will. What does that mean to you, though, for Coach Sweeney to take the time to come out and do that?
Well, I think it just shows, the type of character, Coach Sweeney, and the type of man he is. And he's Clemson Tiger through and through. So he bleeds orange and purple. And for him to come out and share his wisdom with us is huge. And it says a lot about him, taking time out of his busy schedule to help us.
Hey, Coach, this is Todd Shaughnessy in Greenville. I'm just wondering how you measure Cagle's value, not just on this team, but as a program starter?
Well, I mean, obviously we're not here and don't win 42 games without Valerie Cagle, but it is a truly a team sport. And we have a lot of pieces of the puzzle this year and a lot of kids that have really overachieved and given us the opportunity to be in this position. But, it starts in the circle, regardless of what team you're talking about in fast pitch softball. You have to have the pitcher that can go out there and keep you in games. And Valerie is definitely that pitcher. I mean, when she's on, she's almost unhittable, and it helps us offensively because we know that, we don't have to go out and score 7-8 runs when Valerie's in the circle, that we can, relax a little bit and kind of get in our groove offensively. But, when you start talking about how meaningful a player is to the program, Valerie is certainly a player that brings many weapons to the table. Not only her pitching, but her defense and her hitting are just valuable tools for our program and our success this year.
We have time for 2 more questions.
This is Matt again. Just going back, I'm sorry to go back a few weeks ago, but when she gets intentionally walked with the bases loaded, and I think she got intentionally walked to start an inning as well, just what's going through your mind when that's happening, and how rare is that to see? I mean, you've been around a long time, obviously, with softball.
Well, there's times when they're intentionally walking her and putting up the 4 fingers, and then there's times where they're pitching around her. And I think my mindset as a coach is I start thinking about the next hitter and situations and what our strategy may be there. Trusting that Valerie has the plate discipline to know when they're kind of not intentionally walking her, but they're pitching around her. And so as a coach, it's thinking about the next strategy and the next hitter and how we're going to try to score runs in that particular inning.
Hey, Coach, I don't know if you were on social media at all on Sunday night, but it was a pretty interesting place. There's a lot of outcry about the seating, but what's that say about the fans that this program has kind of roped in this year, that, a first-year program gets a 2 seed and everyone's upset on social media?
I love it because they're saying what we're thinking, so it just shows the passionate fans that we have at Clemson. And like I said before, we're not where we're at as a program without our fans. They've won a lot of games for us here with their rallies and their cheers and their support. And hopefully in the future, we're going to be able to pack this stadium and host a regional. But just the support that they've shown our program is phenomenal. And we are blessed to have the fans that we do. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you,
Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Up next, we're going to have Ansley Gilstrap.
Coach? She doesn't need it.
I'll be flipping on. 2.
Hi, everyone.
All right, and we'll open it up to questions in person first, just like we did with Coach. Fire away.
Ansley, Alex Dodd from the Clemson Insider. You're, one of the only players on the team that has postseason experience, the only player that's been to an NCAA regional. What, advice and leadership can you provide to your team from having experienced this before, going on the road and trying to play out of a regional?
Yes, sir. A lot of it's just reminding them to believe in how good that we are. I can be intimidating when you're going up and facing like an Alabama or a big name team. And just, it kind of goes back to one of the things Dabo told us too, is greatness isn't just for a few, it's for everybody. It's not just for Alabama or UCLA or Oklahoma. It can be for little old Clemson too. And you really got to believe in that. And we have all the tools necessary to beat anybody on any field. We have the hitting, we have the pitching, we have the fielding. We just got to put it all together, and we have to believe in that. And the game doesn't change no matter where you go. It's still the same game, different opponents, just believing in yourselves. And we'll do good things there. I have a lot of confidence in that.
How cool was it to have Coach Sweeney here? And it seems like it was a really inspirational time for you guys as well.
Definitely. He said so many good things. I had my little notebook and jotted things down myself. So even though after this year I'll be done, I hope to continue on and share wisdom like that with people I coach afterwards too. Good stuff. It's a good coach.
Trevor Gross from CUTigers.com. You came so close to winning the ACC championship in your first full season of the program. How difficult was it to get past that, put it behind you, And how angry were y'all when you first got the news that you weren't going to be hosting the regional?
We were definitely disappointed, but coaches, they're good. They have not let us get down about it at all. And again, instilling that belief in that we got to play. We got to be the best. We got to beat the best. And so that's what we got to go do. So not thinking too much about that. That happened. Focusing on that windshield, not in the rear view mirror. We're looking forward.
Have you guys been able to think about or talk about how big the moment is just to be able to be in the NCAA tournament, like it being in the moment and really enjoying this time?
Exactly. No one expected us to be here this soon. Not even myself, honestly. I had no doubt Coach Rittman builds a good program, but I'm excited that we were able to do it in just the first year, in my last year of eligibility. So I'm even more excited. We're going to have some fun and enjoy this because it was not expected. So now we're just gonna enjoy it.
And the defense was tremendous. Obviously, Valerie was incredible in the circle, but also y'all behind her in the field. What can you say about just the overall defensive effort in Louisville?
We've improved a lot since the beginning of the year. We had a lot of defensive mess ups earlier in the year. I think a lot of that was us being young, unfamiliar with each other. So building that chemistry, building that confidence, learning each other. I think it's able to help us grow a lot more defensively. And it just makes us a much more solid team now that we've got, the pitching, the defense, and then get that hitting going too. And we get that all going at the same time, and we're going to be pretty unstoppable.
How's this week of practice been for you guys? Just kind of in the middle of the whirlwind of postseason play. How prepared do you feel like you guys are moving forward towards Tuscaloosa?
Like Coach said, this was one of our best practices today of the whole year. So we're going to use that. We're feeling good. We're going to take that energy, take that momentum, carry us into the regional. It's nice being able to practice now without worrying about school or anything like that. Well, I guess some people are still in summer school, but after the crazy spring semester, we're pretty much we're focused on playing. So that's fun.
To add the excitement a little bit going into an SEC environment, SEC stadium, playing one of the big SEC programs.
Definitely. I've never been to Tuscaloosa myself, but I've heard it's such a great environment, and I'm really excited to go, honestly. It's going to be a fun story to tell people. Yeah, I got to play in that stadium.
We'll open it up to questions on the iPad now.
Ansley, this is Todd Shaughnessy. I'm just wondering when you started to realize that things were going to be better than you even expected this season.
Oh, probably last year. Honestly, it goes back. Obviously, transferring in, didn't have the stadium, didn't really have anything to compare it to. All we had was Coach's word of, yeah, we're going to be good. We're building it, not just a program, we're building a championship program. And it's like, okay, yeah, like that's great. I get to be a part of that. But who would have known it would have been in the very first year? And so we got a little glimpse of that last year. Was kind of like our first half year. And we were already so successful. So that was kind of the start of it right there. Being like, oh, we're actually going to be good right off the bat.
What kind of things can you tell your teammates about what it's like to be in a regional?
A lot of it is just like, it's the same game. You don't want to hype it up too much because you don't want people to get too tight about it. You do want them to get excited and have a lot of passion for it, and that tends to make you play better. But you don't want to hype it up too much, make it seem too scary, too out of reach, too crazy, because that can be intimidating. So just reminding them it's still the same game. You're still out there, same rules, all that stuff. Different stakes on the line, but that just makes it even more exciting.
Hey, Ansley, it's Zach Wagner with TigerNet. I don't know if you were on social media on Sunday night after the seeding was announced, but it seemed like anyone that was a fan of Clemson had something to say about it. Just how nice is it to see that your fans kind of rally around you and, they're upset that you guys got a 2 seed in your first full year of competition?
Definitely. Oh, man. Yes, that was a fun time on Sunday night. It was good to get on there, and that kind of fueled your fire a little bit, and it's motivated us a little bit more. They got us hyped. They're so good at that. Even when they're not here on social media, they hype us up.
Time for 2 more questions.
You guys excited to be able to play the role of the underdog, the team with a chip on your shoulder, and go into Tuscaloosa with a little bit of a vendetta? Definitely.
We got nothing to lose going out there. So we're excited. Playing free, playing with some energy, playing with some excitement.
Did Dabo tell you guys how to slay the giant?
Slay the Giants.
Yeah, you're playing Alabama. You know.
Oh yes, oh good jokes. Clemson versus Alabama. We
Yeah.
saw a lot of that on social media too. That's pretty funny. Yes, he obviously said this is personal for me too, so go out there. So he got us hyped. We're excited. Just real excited. I can hear him cheering now over there. Actually.
What you wanna?
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody.
Good luck.
Thank you,
Thank y'all
Ansley.
so much.
Appreciate your time.
Good luck.